All right, shalom, shalom, Yasharala. Back at it again with another Lord with an edifying video through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rachakwadash. Before I go any further, I want to give all honor and all glory and all praises to our Heavenly Father and to His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rachakwadash. And next up, double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone, who still go out there in the highways and hedges and feed us with 100% truth according to the Bible and Ruel. And Shalom, Labachoria, Wabarakium, Shayasharala, which is peace and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel in the Lashon Kodash, the Hebrew tongue. And pretty much this lesson is going to be centered around laboring, man. You see, and really, the inspiration of this lesson came from a workout quote that I was looking at that said, "It's not going to lift itself." You know what I'm saying? And that pretty much means like you got to put in the work if you want the gains. You know what I'm saying? You got to put in the work to get the gains. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same way with this truth. Okay. So I'm gonna start off with the book of Proverbs 6 verse 6. It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard." Now, what's a sluggard? A sluggard is a lazy person. Okay? Consider her ways and be wise, right? Because when you look at the ants, right? The ants are constantly working. They're constantly laboring, okay? And they're in sync, okay? So they go in sync in the formations of what their job is. You know what I'm saying? One group of ants might get the food. One group of ants might guard the hill. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. They're constantly working. They're constantly in service. So that's the same way we have to be in this truth to the spirit, Payah Bashim Shah, to the best of our abilities. Okay. Matter of fact, I got a quick commentary on that. I'm gonna read the scripture one more time. This is Proverbs 6 verse 6. It says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard. Consider her ways." The word "consider" means to think carefully, okay, or to take in consideration or to meditate. Consider her ways and be wise. Right? Wise meaning aware. You see. So the commentary says in Proverbs 6 verse 6, it says through the 11th verse, but I'm going to hit this point. It says, "Those last few moments of sleep are delicious. We savor them as we resist beginning another workday. But Proverbs warns against giving in to the temptation of laziness, of sleeping instead of working." See, pretty much being lazy, okay? Being lukewarm, as the scriptures say, right? It says, "This does not mean we should never rest. The Most High gave the Israelites or the Jews the Sabbath, a weekly day of rest and restoration, which is crazy because the day is the Shabbat, right? It says, but we should not rest when we should be working. If laziness turns us from our responsibility, poverty will soon bar us from the legitimate rest we should enjoy." Right, yeah. So, we have to work, we have to labor, and we have to suffer a couple of things in order for us to get that real rest that we're going to get when Lord Yahweh Shah returns to deliver his elect, okay, which we're hoping to be those men, okay? So now let's grab some more precepts. So this is the book of Philippians 2 verse 12. This is the Apostle Paul talking to the Israelites in Philippi, right? "Wherefore, my beloved," now the beloved of the Lord is the house of David, aka the elect, right? It says, "As ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence," right? So the Apostle Paul was like, okay, you doing all this work, you're being diligent, you on fire while I'm around you, you know? So now be even more on fire, you know what I'm saying, when I leave, you know? It's the same thing when Yahweh Shai was on the scene, you see? You know what I'm saying? When Yahweh Shai was on the scene, the disciples, which later became apostles, was putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? So when Yahweh Shai left, You know what I'm saying? They had to keep on doing it. Okay, it didn't stop because the Lord Yahweh Shah was taken up in that cloud. When you read in Acts, the first chapter, you see that they had to keep on laboring. All right. So that's exactly what the Apostle Paul was saying to the Israelites in Philippi, right? It says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, right? With fear, first and foremost, which the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge of the Bible, right? And it says, in trembling, right? To try to offend less to the best of our abilities, right? It says, verse 13, for it is the Most High which worketh in you both to will, which means to continue, and to do of his good pleasure, right? And what's pleasing in your eyes of Yahweh Shemi Shai? Fearing them, you know what I'm saying, keeping the commandments, you know what I'm saying, and doing what Yahweh Shemi Shai commanded us to do to the best of our abilities, man. Putting in effort and work for Yahweh Shemi Shai. Okay, that's why we go out there in the highways and hedges, weekly, and that's why we do these videos daily to edify the elect. Okay, the Akim and the Aquafium, man. Okay, so now let's get some more precepts. Let's go to the book of First Timothy, right? First Timothy. Let me see. First Timothy. Let me see. Slakia. Give me a second. I believe this is the Apostle Paul talking to Timothy, right? His spiritual son. Okay, that's how close they were. This is the book of First Timothy 4, verse 12. Let me see. Hold on. I'll go straight to the point. This is the book of First Timothy's 4, verse 12. It says, "Let no man despise thy youth." Cause Yahweh Shem Shah, it was that Ecclesiastes 12:1 says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth." Our physical youth, man. Cause Yahweh Shem Shah is dealing with majority, okay, of young men to be called into this truth, Israelite men, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and also the Israelite foreigners. Okay, but of course you got some exceptions to the rule, right? It says, but be thou an example to the believers, right? Yeah, to the listeners, other brothers that's under you, you know what I'm saying, watching your conduct, you know. So Yahweh Shema already put forth men on the earth how to break down the scriptures and how to conduct yourself and how to be, which those men are starting off with the head apostles and the elder bishops on down, right? It says on down to the camp heads, higher ranks, brothers, so on and so forth, right? It says in word and conversation, which conversation mean a conduct, in charity, in the spirit, in faith, in purity. Exactly. So that's also, going into working, man. When you be an example to the believers, you're gonna constantly work. You're gonna constantly be studying, reading, you know what I'm saying, praying, fasting if needs be. You're gonna constantly, you know, working and servicing your Yahweh Shema Shah, and other brothers is gonna see that. That's something you can be like, wow, I need to do the same thing he's doing. You see, so on and so forth. We all motivate each other, all right, as a body. So now, let's see. We all motivate each other through the spirit when we watch each other's labor. So this is the book of St. John 6, and it says verse 27. Matter of fact, verse 26, it says, Yahweh answered them and said, verily, verily, which meaning truly, I say unto you, seek ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. Right. So this is the Yahweh is pretty much cursing out our people, man. The multitude, because they were Israelites, but they wasn't, following Yahweh for the right reason. They was following Yahweh and his disciples because they wanted another meal, man. You see? So the Lord Yahweh was like, hey, man, you are following me for the wrong reasons. Verse 27, it says, labor not for the meat which perisheth. Right, yeah, the American dream, getting all the women, the cars, the clothes, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much the lust of the eyes, right? And the pride of life, like First John say, right? It says, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, right? Which is doing the works, which we're doing through the Spirit. Going out down the highways and hedges, you know what I'm saying? Doing these daily videos to edify our people of the elect, you know. You know what I'm saying? And applying the scriptures to our day-to-day life, right? You know what I'm saying? Which is gonna lead to our the deliverance when Lord Yahweh Shah returns, we get those bodies and live forever if we be the elect. It says, when the Son of Man shall give unto you, which is just true. And it says, and the Son of Man is another title for Yahweh Shai. It says, for him have Yahweh the Father sealed. Right. So now that was it on that. So now let's get some more precepts, right? Precept upon precept. This is the book of 2 Timothy 2, verse 15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh Shem Shah. Yeah, which the word study means to examine something carefully. No, to examine something very carefully, man. You know? You know what I'm saying? Going back in the scriptures, you know, taking notes, you know what I'm saying? Making sure, you know what I'm saying, getting the right breakdowns and so on and so forth. Researching history, researching words, you know, so on and so forth, right? You know, studying, doing your best, right? It says a workman. See, a workman, that's the key word, that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, right, by teaching it the right way. So we're laborers, we're workmen, and we're trying to do this job the right way to the best of our abilities, man. You see? You know? Although we may slip, although we may mess up, but we go back and we correct it to, you know, and strive to do better. You know, just like on a physical job. So Lord's willing, that was edifying through the Spirit. Pavia Abashima. Shout out to next time I say Shalom.